Good evening, good evening, good evening. So sorry this video is a little bit late today. I hope everybody had a good Wednesday and all that good stuff. So anyway, these are the fun facts of March still. Today is March 11th, and so let's jump right into it. Again, this is Allie from Making Connections with Allie and Shay. Make sure you like our page, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and March 11th. So this is also called 311 Day. This day represents, or that title represents, the fact for resources for communities around the country. They're mostly in some major cities and they're working their way to small towns, but it's 311. And what that is a lot of calls were coming into 911, which we know is the emergency system, but it might be calls to report an outage or debris on the road or fallen trees or things like that, which are still important and the city workers need to know about, but it was causing delays in the 911 emergency calls getting through, gunshot wounds, somebody sick, somebody, hurt badly, maybe a bad accident or things like that. So they created 311 to cut down on, to kind of separate those calls. So the less emergency calls, calls that weren't an emergency, you can call 311. Like I said, not every city yet has that system, but you can try, call it, or reach out to your emergency system and see if, just dial the local number, don't dial the 911. But it is, again, they separated it so that the emergency calls could get through and they could flow, and that the emergency workers could get to the people in time. Today is also the day we recognize funeral directors and morticians for what they do. We know that they provide comfort for the family during a very difficult time, during the time of loss, and sometimes you don't really know what to do. So, funeral directors and morticians, they work together to help you through that process, to help you plan the day to celebrate your family member or your loved one. They help you to put together the program. They help you, they listen to you concerning who your family member was and how you want to represent them on that day. And so they, they're just there to comfort you. They're there to, the mortician works with the body. And so they're really, it's a day to say thank you for what they do, because we know they stay very busy throughout the year and they do a job that is very important during a very difficult time. And so thank you to all the funeral directors. Funeral directors have to be licensed, they've gone to school, they have to go through apprenticeship, and so they really do know what they're doing. It's not a license you can get online. I mean, you can get it online, but at the same time, you have to take the courses, you have to do the work, you have to get the license, you have to do the apprenticeship. So, thank you to all the funeral directors and morticians out there working and helping us, to lay our loved ones to rest in the best way we can possible. Today is also Johnny Appleseed Day. And so today we remember a man who went around actually helping apple and pear orchards to bloom. Um, his mother died when he was young. His father packed up him and his sister. They moved, and his father worked a lot of hours. And so Johnny went around, offering people apple seeds. And so he got that name. He became known as Johnny Appleseed. He was born Johnny Chapman, but he became known as Johnny Appleseed. And so a lot of times he would go around, and it said he went vast miles and areas, you know, giving people apple seeds. And so they would plant their orchard. And while he was there, he would give them wisdom about how to take care of it. And he also offered a lot of spiritual advice. It said that whenever Johnny was in town, people always invited them to him to their table because of his kindness, because of his good nature. And then whenever Johnny would hear that there was an orchard that was in trouble, he would make his way to that orchard to help it rebuild and regrow. So it was a very interesting story. If you want to know more about him, look him up because it was a very interesting story. Today is also oatmeal nut waffle day, and this is just a healthier take on the classic waffle. So in this um, what do I call it? This version of the waffle is healthier. It's made with grains and nuts and spices that just give it a little healthier flavor, because we all know that we these days are trying to be healthier. And so this was just another option so that people who love waffles could still eat them and use the oats and the nuts and the things like that to make it a little healthier. So it's oatmeal nut waffle day. We know that oats and oatmeal helps to lower cholesterol, may reduce your risk of heart attacks, and grains are lower in fat. So again, that was just a healthier option so that we could still enjoy that delicious waffle. Today is also known as Promposal Day. And I was like, what is that? But it is the day that high school kids get to craft their unique invitation to the event of the year. So I don't know if they really recognize it in schools, however, but it became known as the day that everybody crafted. How am I going to invite my date? How am I going to ask them if they will come with me to the prom? That is like the biggest thing in school, right? High school. And so we know that in the prom, there are a lot of planning goes through. The girls got to have the perfect dress, the perfect color. You have to coordinate the dress and the tuxedo, your shoes, accessories. Got to get your hair done. You got to decide where you're going to go eat. If you're going to rent a vehicle, if you and some of your friends going to get it together and rent a limo. So it's promposal day. And although all of that other stuff is very important and it is a part of prom, the most important thing is the asking of the question, will you go to prom with me? Will you be my date for prom? So it is also known as Promposal Day. Um, Today is also Worship of Tools Day, and that is, in the garage, there's a tool shed, you might have a tool closet, whatever. It's also known as the day to go out, and it might be time to clean your tools. It might be time to sharpen them. It might be time to get rid of some of them. It might be time to take inventory to see what you have or what you might need to add to your collection. And it's also a day to think about, who did I loan this tool to? And also, if you're in your tool area cleaning up and you say, I don't think this is mine, I think I borrowed it from my neighbor, from my cousin, my uncle, whoever, my auntie, whoever, maybe you should return that tool to them today. So again, worship of tools today, because tools are handy. I mean, every household should have a hammer, a screwdriver, a wrench, because all that comes in necessary at any moment in time. Something falls apart, you got to hang it back on the wall. You need to take a sink or something apart to change out something. So tools are very important. So it's Worship of Tools Day. And last but not least, it's Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day. And today we celebrate those in that profession. They provide the most advanced and current um, nutrition information available to their patients. And why they do this is to help their patients in the aid of their healing. We know that foods are very important. We know how much of this you have, how much of this, you shouldn't have with having diabetes or whatever the ailment might be. They do this to help the patients get better and to heal and to provide food for their bodies that does cause healing. Sometimes we don't know. We eat out of habit. We eat out of what we knew when we were growing up. This is how we made it. This is how we did it. But they teach us new ways of, cooking and what oils are good and things like that. So today is also registered dietitian nutritionist day. So we appreciate you guys for looking out for us and for our families and aiding in our healing. So again, today is 311 day. That is to separate emergency calls from calls like debris in the road. Um, it's National Funeral Director and Mortician Day. It's National Johnny Appleseed Day. If you didn't hear about that, make sure you go back and listen. It's National Oatmeal Nut Waffles Day. It is National Promposal Day. That was my favorite. It's Worship of Tools Day and Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day. So, hope you guys are enjoying these fun facts for March. Check us out. Like I say, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, we do our shows on Saturdays at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. The link to listen in is click on bit.ly/Making Connections Radio Show. That's every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And we also have a show on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WDRB Media. You download the iHeart TuneIn Radio apps, search for WDRB, and there you'll find us on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, take care.